What is up, everybody? This is Sam Schneider, or Movies and Shows, and today I will be reviewing the movie The Cloverfield Paradox. So, The Cloverfield Paradox is a 2018 film released by Netflix on the day of the Super Bowl. I did not watch it the day it came out. It took me a couple weeks because it just didn't really look that interesting. So, when I finally saw it, I realized it was a prequel to the original Cloverfield movie, and the whole movie is just trying to show you how it ties in, and it really switches tones a lot. It switches from a dark tone to a in-space horror movie, to a movie that's trying to be a prequel and trying to keep you entertained with different stories on Earth. And the plot is all over the place, and it's very, very messy. It tries to be suspenseful. I feel like it tries to force you to feel the suspense instead of creating the suspense itself, which I am not a fan of. And it's very dark. Like the other Cloverfield movies, it's dark, but it's actually filmed dark, and it's very unentertaining to look at, in my opinion. And as for the other Cloverfield movies, I feel like this is by far the worst one. My favorite is 10 Cloverfield Lane. I felt like that movie created suspense on its own. And the first Cloverfield movie wasn't as good as 10 Cloverfield Lane, but it still had the entertainment. It's the most entertaining one. The most action happens in the first one. Second one has the most suspense, and this one tries to do both and just doesn't do a very good job, in my opinion. As for other in-space horror movies, this one is also really low. I even liked Life more than I liked this movie, because Life had somewhat of a story and acting, and I feel like most of the actors in this movie just weren't trying their hardest because it's like a Netflix release and not like an actual release. And I can see why it was put out during the Super Bowl, like, oh, there's gonna be a Cloverfield movie right after the Super Bowl, because they didn't really want to advertise, I could tell, for this movie that seemed way more low budget and not as good as the other Cloverfield movies. And overall, I will give The Cloverfield Paradox a 31 out of 100. It's not my favorite film of 2018 so far, not even close, but it's also not my least favorite. We're going to get to that coming up real soon, my review for that movie. But yeah, The Cloverfield Paradox, I wouldn't check it out on Netflix if I were you. I mean, I might if you were just looking for something, a movie to watch that came out this year, but if not, I really wouldn't. This is movie.